Hello, I'm Kimberly, and welcome to the weekend edition of the Native News Update. It's Friday, December 12th. Many of the stories you hear here can be found at IndianCountryNews.com. And here's the news today from the Associated Press and other Native news sources. December 12th marks the 39th anniversary of the murder of Native American rights activist Anime Piktu-Akwash. A member of the Mi'kmaq Nation from Nova Scotia, Canada, Akwash was kidnapped, raped, and then executed by members of AIM in December of 1975. On December 9th, Rennell Harper, a Manitoba teenager who was viciously assaulted and left for dead by the side of a river on November 8th, has added her voice to the call for a national inquiry into missing and murdered Aboriginal women. I ask that everyone here remembers a few simple words: love, kindness, respect, and forgiveness, Rennell told the crowd. As a survivor, I respectfully challenge you all to call for a national inquiry into missing and murdered Indigenous women. 2 males aged 20 and 17 were arrested and faced charges of attempted murder and sexual assault. They are also accused of aggravated sexual assault on a 23-year-old woman later that same night. Harper spoke at the Assembly of First Nations Special Chiefs Assembly, which was held in Winnipeg to elect a new national chief. In the middle of a speech at the Tribal Nations Conference, Attorney General Eric Holder planted the Justice Department firmly on the side of tribes against states, as the tribes struggled to keep their families together. Holder said the Justice Department was redoubling the department's support of the Indian Child Welfare Act, a nearly 4-decade-old law that attempts to keep Native children close to their relatives and tribes, even in cases where they may be removed from their parents. Holder said the department is hiring more attorneys and working with other federal agencies in an effort to protect Indian children from being illegally removed from their families, which he said was done sometimes by those acting in bad faith. Holder said the department will begin culling through state court cases looking to file briefs opposing the unnecessary and illegal removal of Indian children from their families and their tribal communities. The department is also hoping to work with other federal agencies to better train social service agencies and state judges on the law. 2 tribal prosecutors have joined the U.S. Attorney's Office in Tulsa, Oklahoma, to prosecute crimes in Indian country. U.S. Attorney Danny C. Williams Sr. says Jeff Jones, Attorney General of the Osage Nation, and Sarah Hill, Deputy Attorney General of the Cherokee Nation, will work alongside other prosecutors in the office's Indian Country Prosecution Unit to improve public safety in tribal communities. He also said it will allow the district to take on more cases as well as improve on relationships with the 13 federally recognized Native American tribes in the district. Following a competitive process led by the Department of Energy, the White House announced 16 communities from around the country as the first cohort of climate action champions. Included in those 16 communities are 2 tribal governments, Blue Lake Rancheria in California and the Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians in Michigan. Blue Lake Rancheria began its strategic climate action plan in 2008 and is a regional leader in the strategically planning and implementing both climate resiliency and greenhouse gas reduction measures. To date, the tribe has reduced energy consumption by 35% and has committed to reduce greenhouse gas emissions 40% by 2018, utilizing a range of approaches including the use of biodiesel to power public buses and aggressive energy efficiency measures. The Sault Ste. Marie Tribe demonstrates a holistic approach to climate action and preparedness through their energy strategy, emergency operation plan, integrated reforest management plan, solid waste management plan, sustainable development code, and land use planning process, with ambitious goals including a net zero energy goal. The tribe aims to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 4% per year. On December 10th, the Quileute Tribe recovered a newly discovered petroglyph in a ceremony near where it was found along the Kalawa River. The limestone rock, hand-carved prior to contact with Europeans, depicts a legendary battle between the tribe's creator and a monstrous red lizard that guarded passage on the shortest path between the Solduck and Kalawa rivers. Elders and tribal leaders say the rock is the only known petroglyph depicting a Quileute legend on the tribe's traditional territory. Nearly all the tribe's art from pre-contact days was lost in an 1889 fire that destroyed its village at La Push, Washington. The rock was discovered last December on state-owned shorelands by local fisherman Eric Wasanakeri and authenticated by Washington State Department archaeologist Lee Stilson. Chas Woodruff, chairman of the Quileute Nation's Tribal Council, describes the historic find for the tribe as the most important, at least in this modern day. The rock will go on display in La Push as a welcome addition to help tell the tribe's history. And that's another roundup of news from Indian Country on this edition of the Native News Update. I'd like to thank you for joining me and have a grand day.